All right, hello and welcome
Hello.
to Life Extension Live.
That's
I'm your
right.
host, Dr. Mike, and this is
I'm Dr. Crystal Gossard.
great to have you on. As always, I'm going to thank everybody for joining us today. Before we get started, we have some people in the studio,
Yes.
right? So we're gonna switch cameras. And we're gonna do the debut shot of Holly. Holly
Be sure to
is
ask
gonna,
us your questions today.
she's gonna send them to us, and Holly's just like, it's great. We have Robson running everything in the back, and then I don't know what Hannah does. She's just kind of sitting over here again.
Hannah does the fancy camera
Oh, that's
work,
right.
remember?
Hannah, do you want to demonstrate your work real quick? Like show the apples.
Yes.
Look, there she goes. That's Hannah.
Hannah!
All right. So holidays.
Ooh.
You've already had an experience with the holidays, haven't you?
I have. You
Yeah.
know, it's an enjoyable time of the year. We love it. You just feel the energy. We have the energy in this space right now.
There is. There's an energy to this, like December, right?
Yes.
You know,
well,
even-
it starts in November.
Yeah, okay, mid-November, people start getting
I
excited.
catch the bug in November.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about staying healthy, right?
Yes.
Having a healthy holiday season. Even though there is a lot of great energy, there's a lot of fun stuff going on. It gets a little much. Is that a way of
It can
saying
be much. It can be a difficult time of the year for people who are poor planners.
Great.
For people
And that's
who
her.
have a hard time managing stress. You know,
Eating
this
lots of
time
sugar.
of the year, yes.
Sugar.
You're
Cookies.
Oh.
I told you my favorite ones, right? We'll get to it. There's a picture.
Well, you promised you were going to bring some
No,
in.
because I don't want to start eating them. It's too early.
Good. So, you know, when you said that you were going to bring in your favorite holiday cookies, I was like, oh no, he's going to sabotage my diet. But
Yes.
then I secretly wanted you to bring them in.
Because you wanted one, yeah. We're going to talk about what my favorite ones are. The point of all this is, you know, we want you to be able to have family over. We
Yes.
want you to be able to cook those meals you want to cook, right?
Yeah.
Go shopping, you know, to buy gifts for friends and family because it's wonderful. Eat some of the Christmas cookies, right? Enjoy a beer or what do people drink during this time of year?
Eggnog.
Eggnog with some rum in it or something. I
Yes.
don't know. But the point is, there's a way to have all that without letting it really hurt your health overall.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's go to the first slide because we chose this because it's kind of funny.
Well, yeah, this is the picture perfect.
Family, right?
Family with their
Everything.
holiday
Look at the house is
photo.
clean.
The dog is like just
The dog
sitting
is
there.
just perfect. The tree. Look at that tree.
Oh man, my tree does not look like that.
I'll tell you right now,
promise you.
in my house, we could not put a tree up like that up. It would just be a fight. There's no way. But that's if you just go online and just look at all these, or even just ads for this time of the year.
That's what you see in the commercials. Like
The
you, and
perfect-
so it sets you up for the false idea that your family, your home has
needs to look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
it
not
needs to be
fair.
that perfect tree, the perfect everything. It's not
It's
fair.
not reality.
So we're going to show you now
Yes.
what is actual reality. This was some pictures of Crystal, Dr.
Yes.
Gossard, going on Thanksgiving vacation.
Yeah, so this was just last week, and I'll just tell you the first story so you can see the center picture. You've got, you know, my two kids, Roland and Kaylin. Roland is hanging out of the stroller a little bit. One leg is kind of dangling out. I have an arrow pointing to my bag, so
Something
there's
spilled there or
something
something.
spilled already. So
you're not
we're
even through security.
We're not even through security. The top left, a rash that appeared the night before.
Oh.
So you know, our flight left at 2 o'clock. I
Yeah.
ended up taking him to an emergency doctor's appointment that morning
See, this
at
is reality.
8:45 in Miami. So we were up early. I had to have everything packed for his 8:45 doctor's appointment. We arrived home in enough time for my husband to call the Uber. I only had
So basically, you had like seconds to like
Seconds.
transition To go into the
to
air, yeah.
transition to the airport. My son was climbing the seats. As soon as
that's
we
the
got
reality.
on the plane,
Yeah.
the flight attendant gave both of my kids candy.
Yeah,
Gave them a piece of candy. I was
that's
like,
why they were. I don't think
yeah,
so.
it was
Little
madness.
Roland was climbing over a seat, looking into the other. I don't think
Yes.
passengers like that. I don't think people like when the kids like looking over.
Well,
Probably
you
with
know, they have
slobber
the
and everything.
family boarding all at one time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was probably 5 or 6 rows of families with
Yes.
kids, and all of the kids were just out of control. And I was
So-
happy that mine were not as out of control as the other kids on the plane.
Oh,
so
that's
I was like, okay.
My kids are pretty good. They're not
Yeah,
as
he's
crazy.
just climbing the seat,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know.
We're gonna break this conversation up
Yeah.
into how to deal with that kind of stuff, the
Yes.
stress.
Yes.
Right. And I know you came up with some good lifestyle
I
tips
did.
you want to talk about, but and we also have some supplement suggestions. Right. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. And so that's the stress, and then we're gonna talk about the sugar.
Yes.
Let's all admit it.
How do you manage it?
Listen, your pies and cookies, and it's all there.
Well, all
You know,
the
a lot of-
parties.
A lot of the drinks and stuff are sugary this time
Oh,
of year.
yes.
Even just like the hot cocoa, all that stuff. So we're going to talk about how to make sure the sugar is not impacting your health as
Yes.
bad as it could. And then the last thing is going to be if you're traveling. Like if you're going on a plane, what are some of the things you can do to stay healthy? To make sure
Yes.
so when you arrive where you're going, you're healthy and you feel good and you want to have a good time.
Exactly.
All right, so let's start with the stress part.
The stress
Let's
part.
go right to your lifestyle.
My
tips.
lifestyle, and I came up with these tips, and these are truly from the heart. Because this
From that
is what
experience.
from that experience, I wrote down some things for the future. One, make a plan, but be flexible.
Oh, I like that.
That's so. It's because when you don't have a plan, that can cause
Stress.
because you're thinking about what needs to be
But don't
done.
be so rigid that
Exactly.
you can't make adjustments here or there.
Yes.
Especially if you're with the kids, right?
100%. Number 2, make a list and assign tasks.
Delegate.
So what I've learned, I need
Delegate.
to delegate more to my husband. He needs guidance, and he understands that. If I give him a list or if I ask
need
him
my
what
husband
to
to do more work.
then he will do it, and so I do realize I just need to delegate a little bit more, especially
Okay, I
you
get
know.
that. Yeah, sure. All right. So sign tasks. That's
Yes.
good.
Sleep. So don't feel bad about taking a nap.
No, naps are good.
Or, if everyone's up, with family, they're talking, it's okay to bow out and say,
I'm taking a break.
Yeah, or just go to bed early.
Yeah.
If my family will be up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just
Yeah. Going
having
crazy.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. Same with my family. And my family knows I have a look when I need a break. I don't know what the look is, but they all recognize
the
it.
look?
They look at me like, "Oh, do you want to sit by yourself for a while?" Because I can't. You know me. I'm like a
Yeah.
short circuit type guy. Like
Yeah.
I rev up, I get going, I'm playing with the kids, and then like,
Yeah.
I need a break.
Yeah.
Kids, go away.
Yes.
And we go over there. Yeah, I need a break. All right.
Yeah,
good.
so don't feel bad about that.
I don't.
Drink a glass of water between each alcoholic drink.
Pretty
Each
good.
alcoholic beverage.
This is from
there would be
experience,
lots
right?
of light. Yes. Pace yourself because
Pace yourself, yeah.
when you're around the family, people are drinking beers and things like that. You don't often pause.
It's easy just to keep going. Everybody's
Yeah.
having fun.
Pause just for some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Simple tip.
but we also did a whole show on protecting yourself from the effects of alcohol, right?
Yes.
Excessive alcohol, especially during this time of the year when we're binge drinking more.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that there's a syndrome? It's called the holiday heart syndrome. Holly, did you ever hear that?
No.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
familiar
At
with
this
it.
time of the year, a lot of people end up going to the emergency rooms with palpitations.
Oh, wow.
Because they're drinking so much so fast.
Right,
the
right.
heart doesn't like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's called holiday heart syndrome.
Right. So don't let that happen
Yeah,
to you.
drink
Thank
some
you.
water. And then we talked about, like clove, right? That was important.
Clove can be beneficial.
Milk thistle.
Absolutely, and just a good old B
Glutathione.
vitamin.
B vitamins.
Yeah, B vitamins are beneficial.
Glutathione.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are things you can do. But when you're doing that water, don't take acetaminophen.
Oh no.
Don't think you're going to prevent a headache. Just
No,
don't.
no.
Just hydrate.
Oh, and NAC was the other one.
NAC.
And
okay.
acetylcysteine.
All right. So that's good.
And then my last one, I had to put this in. try to embrace an attitude of gratitude. And I know it sounds so corny, but
it's
whenever
true.
you're feeling stressed out and you're thinking, you know, about everything that's going on with the holidays, try to find something to be grateful for.
Yeah, in that moment when
Yeah.
when you want to go crazy.
Exactly.
Like when you want to yell.
Right.
But you take a step back. Well, you know what? I like this. I don't remember who wrote it. It was practice the pause.
Oh.
Like you take like when you're getting stressed and
Yeah.
like you're in the middle of that airport. Before you just act, you practice the pause. You just take that
Yeah,
breath.
maybe just take a
You
breath.
pause for a second. You know.
Yeah.
And then you interact.
I like that.
Yeah. Practice or master the pause or something
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah.
And being mindful, being in the moment. Mindfulness.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, being in the
Absolutely.
moment, being grateful in that moment.
Yes.
That's really good. So that's from your that's you.
That's just what I came up with. I actually thought about some of these as soon as I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I want to share with
That's very good.
our viewers.
Well, now some people might hear all that. They go, that's great, but I need some supplements.
I know. Well,
I need some
I add
help.
those in too.
We do. There are a couple of really good researched nutrients that can kind of help you calm down a little bit. What I
Yeah.
like about these, and I'll let you talk about them, but I'll just say this at the get-go. These supplements, even though they're anti-stress, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't knock you out.
Right.
It's when I take these, it's maybe an hour later. I'm just like, oh, things are
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
call it my calm focus.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
But you're not knocked out. So tell us about what we're talking about.
Well, lemon balm.
Love it.
Oh, so nice. It grows here in Florida.
I didn't
Did you
know that. No.
Yes.
Like
It's-
natural all
Yes,
over?
it's an herb similar. It's in the mint family.
Oh, okay.
And it's very calming,
Is that the-
but
is
not
it the-
sedating.
Is it the same as it's not lemongrass?
No,
Is that-
no, that's different.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So lemon balm, I love it. Usually around 150 milligrams,
Okay.
sometimes a little more.
Now there's, but if you take more, it's okay. It's very safe. Teas with it too, though, right? Aren't there lemon balm
Yes,
teas that you can
yes.
do? So I don't know. I mean, the tea is calming. That's nice. I would probably do a supplement and have the tea.
Yes.
Why not combine it? And then we have that goes along with it.
Oh,
really
green
well.
tea,
Green
which
tea.
is nice. Which actually that complements something that I love with my lemon balm, which is theanine. And
yeah.
that's an amino acid that you find in green
yeah.
tea. But there's something when you drink the green tea with the lemon balm, it just really helps to balance out some of those neurochemicals in your
Yeah.
brain to just help
Yeah.
you to just feel like it's okay.
It's
And it doesn't just kind of plow you down where all of a sudden you
No,
feel
not at
this
all.
way.
Not at all.
It's just, you're
It's
feeling
calming.
a little frazzled,
calming.
and then
Yeah.
like 30 minutes later for me.
Robson, can you put up that slide of her family again? I have a question I want to ask. Yeah. Let's get that
Were
up
you going
there.
to ask me about?
What I want to know is what is Blake doing? That's your husband, right? You didn't introduce Blake.
Oh yes.
What is he
That
doing?
is
I
my
can't tell. Is he
husband.
getting in trouble with the security guy?
No.
Is he like what? He looks like he just doesn't know. He looks like he's frozen.
He is preparing. He's taking off his jacket. He is
Oh, okay.
preparing for the disrobing that you have to do to go through security. Although this experience was great, we have a TSA pre-check.
Yeah, that. Oh my gosh. When we get to the
It
travel part,
changed
let's
my
talk. Let's
life.
talk about that.
Yes.
We're gonna add that to the
Yes.
travel part.
We have to.
I've had such great experience
I
with
have
that.
a secret trick with that.
Okay,
too.
good. All right, so
I
that's
take the L-theanine. I take that before traveling.
Oh,
you
yeah.
do?
Before you actually
before I
get
go
on,
on a plane.
How
Yeah.
soon before?
Yeah, like you said, about 30 minutes before. It really helps give that calming effect without you're not tired, you're just calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the people around you don't bother you as much.
Yeah, you just have more of a zen, you're not, as anxious.
All right.
Maybe I'll try. I usually do a glass of wine.
How would you feel if
do.
the kid was climbing
Robson
over
would
the
just have a
seat
beer.
in your face?
I mean, I don't have kids yet, so it's, hard to relate, but I would try to be as understanding as possible.
I know.
All right, so that's handling stress. We had some good lifestyle tips and some supplement suggestions there. Now let's move into the next section.
Yes, maybe the next slide.
My Christmas cookies.
Yes.
So we talked about my favorite Christmas cookies.
You
you
did.
remember?
I think we have a picture of them on the slide.
Yes. See, these cookies here that you're going to look at are the best ones. You know why? They're the soft ones, right?
Oh,
They're the ones that, and they have the icing on them, which I love. But I like them. I don't like the crunchier cookies.
you know, I like crunch. I
Yeah.
like everything a little bit crunchy.
Anyway, so those are my favorite. I didn't make those.
The Santa in the middle is so cute.
I didn't make those, but I don't bake. But if I had a choice, that's what I would eat, and I will eat some. So what can we do? So I know I'm going to eat some.
Okay.
I don't normally eat sugar. You know that. I'm
Yes,
actually a pretty
I know.
low carb
Yeah.
person. I try to keep my net carbs about 30 grams a day.
Oh.
That's pretty low.
Yes.
Yeah. Considering most people eat, what, 150, 200 net
Oh.
carbs, and probably more.
More than
300
that,
net
I'm
carbs
sure.
a day. Net carbs being the carbs that affect insulin
Right.
and glucose levels. But so I know I don't normally eat, but I know I'm going to enjoy some.
All right, I'll give you my first tip.
Okay.
And this is what I...
Should I write this down?
No, I think you'll remember.
Okay.
It's something
Wait.
I talk about in every show.
I know what you're going to say. Can I guess?
Yes. Don't look.
Fiber!
Yes. Fiber.
She's the fiber queen.
Soluble fiber before you have those cookies. So I would say 5 up to 10 grams of fiber.
And that could be, you could do that in a drink form.
Yes. In a drink form.
And there's good ones out there now, right? That are easy to do.
Yes, and the soluble fiber kind of bulks up in your gut,
Yeah.
and then it first, number one, makes you have a sensation of being full, so you'll eat less cookies. 2, it will slow
Less cookies.
It will slow the
don't know if
absorption
I like this one.
of that sugar into your bloodstream.
Yeah.
So instead of getting this rush into the bloodstream,
Yeah, but
it
is
will,
there, when you say soluble fiber, right? So,
Yes.
okay, maybe let's back up for a second.
Okay.
So I think it's always good to review this kind of stuff, right?
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll teach, okay, the two broad categories are,
soluble and insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber is
We put
kind of
two in
like, yeah, that's like the bran. It's the outer covering of the plant, almost like
it's the hard stuff.
The hard
it's the,
stuff.
It's the bulky hard stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then your soluble fiber are the fibers that can kind of absorb water. They're bulking fibers. So
Yeah.
pectin is an example of a soluble
Like apple
fiber.
pectin.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so so when you ingest that, that's what they do. They
Yeah.
absorb some of that excess sugar and fat, right?
Yes.
And they can send it out the other way.
Exactly.
And take it out. And you're right.
And then slow the absorption of the sugar
right.
into the bloodstream.
And it makes you feel full.
Yes.
So instead of 10 cookies,
You're a little
2
disappointed.
cookies. Yeah.
You know, sometimes you're like, oh man.
Yeah. So
I'm
that's
full.
now you usually also talk about if you're going to do what were you 10 you said 10 grams before?
10 grams before something sweet.
How much water should you drink with that?
Oh.
That's a good question, right? Because isn't hydration
least-
needs to go along with
At
it?
least a cup
Okay, a
or
cup.
more, but about a cup. Sometimes about a cup and a half.
Okay.
Depending on the type of fiber. If you're using a psyllium fiber, which is a form that I tend to use, it swells quickly.
Yeah, that one gets big. Like people feel it in their mouth or throats.
Oh
and
yes,
stuff, right?
you have to drink it quickly or it can be a choking hazard. So really be careful, you know, with the type of fiber that you choose. If you do choose a psyllium, make sure that you
Right.
like mix it, drink it down really fast, and then drink another cup of water after.
I know for me with sugar, and this is just my clinical opinion that I'm more concerned about that post meal spike.
Yeah.
You know, normally when you eat like if this is your blood sugar level like this and you eat that cookie, what happens? And
And then you crash
and then
down.
It crashes.
So if you start it here,
It comes
you
below.
go up and you
Yeah.
end up below.
So that's
your
that
starting
post sugar,
level.
like
Yeah.
you're tired, all that kind of stuff. So and I know we know that if you're living a lifestyle where you're eating a lot of processed carbs, simple carbs, you're basically living in these spikes.
That's happening all
yeah,
day.
yeah, and that's damaging insulin. That leads to diabetes and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But there's some evidence that even an occasional high spike can be very damaging to cells and
100%.
tissue.
And we're not talking about people who are dealing with like a clinical issue.
No.
This is the everyday person,
healthy person-
after every meal.
They're not, not diabetic yet or whatever, but just having that sugary meal spiking,
Yeah.
that one spike can cause problems.
Well, I'll tell you one issue that people deal with is the liver. So our glucose or sugar is stored in the liver. and the liver releases that sugar during times of fasting. So between your meals, that's how you can still have, energy for your brain.
Right.
However, some people, even after a sugary or a high carb meal or after a meal, the food's making their sugar or their glucose spike,
And then the liver is
the
helping.
liver is
Yeah.
also pumping out glucose into the bloodstream.
So the spike's getting worse.
Yes, so clove is very helpful with
Clove
that.
extract. There's clove. That's also
Yes.
for when you're doing
Yeah.
a little drinky too much, right?
Yes. So clove helps to metabolize alcohol and helps to kind of stop that liver from pumping out sugar.
Maki berry.
Maki is also
That's good for spikes too, right?
good for spikes. It works in a different way. That actually works in the stomach and slowing the release of the food from
Okay.
the stomach. So it helps you feel full longer and just kind of slows down.
Right. And so
That
so
increase.
so some fiber. Hydrate with that fiber,
Yeah.
a little maki berry, maybe some clove. That's really going to
Yes.
provide a lot of protection so that you can enjoy. But listen, we're not saying eat 20 cookies.
No.
Right? Come on. You still have to moderate this.
100%.
But enjoy, come on, enjoy that
The
pumpkin
experience,
pie. Enjoy the
right?
experience. Be with your family. Other ones you might hear, let's see, we wrote down white kidney bean.
Yes.
That's good for
That-
slowing absorption.
Yeah, that actually targets amylase, an
Right.
enzyme that breaks down carbs.
Right,
So
so
it's
it-
kind of blocking some of those carbs.
Right, and we're talking about you're doing these in supplement form, right?
Right.
There's supplements out
Yeah.
there. Sorghum bran, that
Yeah.
old ancient brand or
Yeah.
grain,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Mulberry, and then an apple extract called
Floridzen.
Floridzin.
Yes.
Floridzin.
Floridzen.
Floridzen.
We always do this.
Floridzin. Yeah, and so there's a lot of choices out there. You don't have to do all this.
Right.
I think fiber's always a great place to go.
Yeah, I
and then
think-
maybe you throw in some, like I like maki berry.
Yes, and something that you brought up, enzymes.
Oh yeah.
For people, like if you just feel like you
blow.
overdid it. It was so funny. Thanksgiving, Blake, we were at Blake's aunt and uncle's house, and he was asking, do you all have enzymes?
But
We need some enzymes.
we need to introduce the audience to Blake one of these times.
I know, we should.
Yeah, it'd be funny. But
He wouldn't want to be on the
for,
camera.
for those of us that don't eat a lot of carbs, like I mentioned, I keep my net carbs down.
Yeah.
At Thanksgiving, I did enjoy some, right? I had,
Mm-hmm.
you have the mashed potatoes, you have the stuffing or dressing. I don't know which one of it. I think I had dressing, although it's the same thing.
I don't
It's just
really
not
know the
stuffed in the
difference,
bird.
right?
I don't know. Okay. So, but when it didn't take much for me to eat, and I just felt like I was like, yeah. I did not have enzymes with me. I forgot them.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
But there's in an enzyme supplement, there are enzymes that help to break down those carbs a little bit faster. It keeps your GI system moving, so you just feel a little better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so that's our sugar section. That's
Yes.
stress and sugar. You can even throw fat in there at the same time because
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
usually they come together, right? Sugar and fat. All right, so now what we want to talk about is if you're traveling. Last I saw over Thanksgiving at least, what was it, like 150, almost half of America travels.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and some of it by plane, train, whatever.
Now, I did know Thanksgiving more so than Christmas, or
Yeah, yes, Thanksgiving
holiday
is higher
season.
than, but it's still throughout the holiday season.
Yes.
It's a busy time. Just go to the airports. Ugh, it's crazy right now.
It's crazy.
And so we want to talk a little bit about some things that might help when you're traveling, because at the end of the day, you're going through all this work. Like, look what you did to get out to Ohio, right?
Yes.
I mean, when you get there, you want to feel okay.
You don't want to get sick.
You don't want to get sick. And this is flu season starting.
Oh, yes.
I can't.
Oh, that recycled air on the airplane.
Oh, I know. And there's always somebody on the plane this time of the year hacking away somewhere.
Ooh.
It's
Now,
just
when
pretty
you
gross.
travel, do you carry any type of cleaning wipes? Do you wipe down the
Yes.
tray?
Yeah, I know what to say. And I'm not consistent with it, but especially this time of the year.
You do.
Because I have a friend who is or was a flight attendant, and I won't tell you what airline,
Okay.
but he's like, they don't clean anymore. I mean, they basically pick up trash and wipe things down, and well, look how fast they unload and load.
That is true.
I mean, they get people off, and you're getting back on because they're making money by flying. So that's a good tip number one.
Yeah.
If you're traveling by plane or train or bus,
Yeah.
take wipes. Wipe down the seat, wipe down the tray. A lot of planes now have the remotes for the TVs.
Oh.
Those are probably the worst things.
Or probably some of the planes now have the touch screen.
Touch screen,
TVs.
yeah, I don't know if you're supposed to wipe touch screen or
I
not.
don't know, but
I or at least put it on your finger and touch. I don't know. But maybe do a wipe down. That's a good.
You know, be aware of how often you touch your mouth and your nose. That's something that
I know,
people
and that's
do.
it's hard. We do it thousands of times a day.
I know, but like I think once you become aware
Yeah.
that you do it, hopefully
So
it will help you to
I
not
saw-
do it as often.
So I had an experience with this. A friend of mine had pink eye,
Oh,
and
someone has it here at work right now.
I
won't say who.
Don't say who. But so a friend of mine had pink eye, and we were sitting together. I don't know I don't remember what
Okay.
we were doing, but we were definitely touching things, right?
Right, mhm.
And I remember saying to myself, "All right, before you walk, do not touch your face. Do not touch." Like I'm saying this to myself before you walk, and I'm like, "Don't do it." And I get up. And what do I do?
Oh!
Yeah, I mean, it's like immediately I start touching because we don't realize. You're touching your eyes, your mouth,
I
your nose.
know.
I mean, doing this
But it's
all the
like
time.
the
Yeah.
moment that you realized you touched your eye. I mean,
Oh,
were you tortured for?
I
how
just
long?
I didn't get it, thank God, but it just yeah. So I think that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Be aware of how often you're doing, which comes back to wash your hands too a lot,
Absolutely.
and have some stuff for your hands during. I'm not a big I don't want to over promote sanitation, right? I mean sanitation, disinfectants.
Right. No,
Um,
in fact, you don't need the antibacterial soaps.
Regular soap is fine.
Just regular soap and
Yeah.
water.
But if you're flying, especially if you fly a lot like I do,
Yeah.
this time of the year, I do have some that I'll wipe on my
Yeah,
hands.
yeah.
But just wash your hands, watch how often you touch. If you're going on a plane
Yeah.
or any public mode of transportation, wipe that kind of stuff down.
Yeah.
But let's talk now about the plane flight itself. People are sitting there.
Yes.
They're not moving that much.
Yes.
There's a risk there, isn't there?
There is a risk, and I actually pulled up a handout from the CDC.
Okay.
And it's about blood clots and travel. So
Okay.
since we're talking about travel, sitting on the plane, so just it's something to be aware of. I personally take pycnogenol and natto kinase. Pycnogenol is a pine bark extract. Natto is like a fermented soy.
Right. And they just help maybe they keep the blood flowing basically.
Yes.
Yeah, not clotting. That's the issue here when you're sitting for a long time.
Exactly. So there's some nice simple tips. Move your legs frequently.
And you don't have to do much, right? It's
No,
just
yeah,
even just
it's-
like pick up your
Pat
like
feet.
heels and
Yeah.
stuff and just
and contract your calf
yeah.
muscles.
Did you know so they're now starting some flights that like there's a nonstop flight that's about to start that goes from Sydney to London. It's
my
it's
gosh.
a 23 or 4 hour flight.
Wow.
And they are making people get up and do exercise during the flight.
Yay!
Yeah.
Really?
They do them in groups and they have to walk around
Oh my!
like a
This is so cool.
yeah. And they make them wake up at certain times and walk around. Yeah. So even just getting up
That
and
is the responsible thing to
that's
do.
good. But you could just get up and walk to the bathroom.
Yes.
Walk and go get another. Don't wait for the
The
flight attendant to
flights.
bring you water. Go walk up and get some water from them. Yeah.
Yes.
That kind of keeps the
So
circulation.
take your
going.
own trash to the trash
Yeah.
can.
Right. So then you got no.
So know the symptoms of blood clots and risk. So if you are, your risk increases after age 40. Obesity increases your risk. Surgery or injury within the past 3 months.
Okay.
So that
That's a
means
big
that
one.
your risk is higher.
That's a big one.
Yes.
Especially if you're older. If you're in your 60s, 70s, and you've had surgery recent, I would talk to your doctor first about
Yeah.
air travel. Quite honestly.
Well, yes, and actually that's what they wrote down.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor.
Well, and it's at least okay. I mean, if an hour flight, like if you're doing a quick one, maybe. But if you're doing anything
fine.
over a couple hours,
Yes.
I'd be careful with that.
Yes, anything over 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And if you have varicose veins, that means that you're at
Because
increased risk.
that's a sign that you're already having some poor circulation
Exactly.
and that kind of stuff.
So-
we didn't put up the slide for this one.
Oh yeah, the kids
I just thought this
looking
was
out the
cute.
window.
Yeah. Look at that. See?
I know.
That's not your kids, though, is it?
No, but I tried to recreate this picture with my kids, and it was
That's
hilarious because
Wait.
they were on a ledge in my picture that I decided not to put up, and I'm sure everyone in the airport was
Oh.
looking at me like, "Get your kids down off the."
But that's another example. You see, they're touching everything. The kids are probably having all kinds of viruses. You know how kids are, viral syndromes.
Yes.
They're touching things. You're touching things. Wash your hands. Have some wipes.
Yep.
I think. What about just some good immune supplements? Like
Oh.
extra vitamin D.
And vitamin C.
Vitamin C.
C and D.
Yeah, I actually double up on vitamin D when I travel this time of the year, and I do a
Oh.
lot already. Yeah.
Ooh.
So but I watch my blood level.
That's important.
I know where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the best things you can do. Vitamin D. I also like lactoferrin.
Ooh.
Very good.
That's
from mother's
really
milk.
nice. You never hear about lactoferrin.
Yeah, lactoferrin is a immune protein that's found in colostrum, which is that
Yes.
initial milk production after a woman delivers.
And you can find some in whey protein
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. So lactoferin's really good. And what do you do? Anything am I missing anything? Oh, andrographis.
Paniculata.
Yeah, I love saying it. Andrographis paniculata. It's the king of bitters.
Yes.
So it's a very basic thing to understand about the immune system and viruses.
Yeah.
Viruses hate bitter things. They do.
Wow.
So if something tastes bitter, did you know this, Hannah? If something tastes bitter, that's a good chance it's going to have a good immune effect. Yeah. So I tasted andrographis once.
You did?
Yeah. We're not going to say
How
the.
what? Oh,
It came in a little. You know what product I'm talking about?
no.
Like a little blister pack.
No.
Oh, anyways. So it's a funky looking little tablet.
Okay.
I put it and I just bit right down into it.
Ooh. Why?
It was worse
Why
than that
did you do
turmeric
that?
shot you made me do on the last
that
Facebook
was great.
Live.
You all have to go and watch that.
Yeah. I used to have this thing of just tasting everything I
Oh,
was doing.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'll open up the capsule and just taste. what's
Yeah,
in it.
I love andrographis. One thing about that, you want to take it about 5 days before you are going to travel.
Yeah, build up those andrographolides.
Yes.
Yes. So anything else there? I think that's pretty good, right? Beta glucan.
Yeah. Oh, one thing we wanted to remind everyone, especially if you're traveling through time zones, melatonin.
Very
Don't
important.
forget to pack your melatonin.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, enjoy this season. I like your attitude of gratitude. It's easy to get wrapped up in the stress of things. I gotta buy these gifts. It's maybe instead of I gotta do this, how about I want to do this for my
I
family.
want to do it.
I'm happy that they're here.
Exactly.
Right, Hannah? What do you think? Is that pretty good? Hannah's never gonna say a word, is she?
And a smile and a kind word
Yeah.
goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know,
it is hard when you're with your family. Because some of them don't deserve that kind word.
But you have to give it anyway.
Yeah.
Push through.
So hopefully some of this helps, right? De-stress. We gave you some lifestyle
Yes.
tips there. We love the lemon balm.
Yes.
That's a great way to do it with the theanine. Enjoy the cookies. Take it with some fiber.
Yeah.
That's going to help. At least do that. I think most of us can handle that. And then of course, if you are traveling, boost your immune system up.
Yes.
All right. Oh, and move your legs.
Yes.
All right. This was fun.
I think so.
I think I'm
Hopefully
gonna have a healthy holiday.
I'm going to
Holly?
incorporate some of my own tips.
Yeah, I
in a
mean,
couple
great
of
tips
weeks.
today. I personally love zinc.
Oh, we
yeah.
forgot
You guys
zinc.
forgot
We forgot
But
zinc
it's
for
been
the
shown
immune system.
to reduce both the severity and the duration of colds. So
Yeah,
zinc's
that's
a good
great.
one.
All right, and Robson, was this good? You gonna take some of these
Amazing.
tips?
Oh, for sure.
All right, Hannah.
Yes.
Say she said something. Hey, we want to thank everybody for watching today. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
That's right. You have them all.
You
I got it? Yeah,
Yes.
I did that. And we'll be back new year.
In the new 2020.
2020, we're going to be doing a bunch of Facebook Lives. Watch for that.
Yes.
That's why subscribing is so important. I'm Dr. Mike. This is
Dr. Crystal.
everybody have a healthy holiday season. Take care.